What's up, you beautiful collectors and Marvel Legend fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, I'm taking a look at something that most of the time I don't review. Occasionally, I will review Marvel Legend figures, but more often than not, it's only X-Men that I take a look at. But many of you know that I'm a huge Iron Man fan, and while I don't have any Marvel Legend figures of Iron Man, this was one that I really liked. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends AI Tony Stark from the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure line. And that part of it was kind of curious. Number one, I love the way that this looks. It's a very classic Iron Man suit, very much like the original look for Iron Man. You got a helmet, you got the hands, blasters, all that kind of stuff. But I love the fact that they also do give you a blue translucent or holographic Tony Stark. Because Tony did put himself in a artificial intelligence. And it even says right here, after a tragic battle, Tony Stark lives on in a digital form as a hologram at the helm of a high-powered robotic suit of armor. And what's interesting is this is like part of that Shang-Chi, or I don't even know, I don't remember the Shang-Chi or something like that. It's one of the new Marvel movies that's coming out that honestly I don't really know much about, which I kind of feel bad about, but it's like all these characters are part of it except for that one, which is weird. And it's one thing that I've always kind of thought that, you know what, yeah, Tony died, but I feel like Tony is really smart and could have put himself as an artificial intelligence. I mean, we saw it with Zoloff, why don't I remember that guy's name? Arlim Zoloff? Does that sound right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he was there. I mean, Tony's definitely smart enough to do something like that, so I don't know. We're getting this figure in here, and maybe it was an idea that they wanted to do, like in terms of the movie. Who knows? I mean, either way, that would be really cool, and it would allow us to get Tony Stark kind of back, but that's a bit of a tangent. I just want to take a look at the figure. So, without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And for the most part here, this guy is a repaint of that Marvel Legends 80 Years Iron Man that came out, I believe, 2 years ago. And despite the fact that I am a massive Iron Man fan, this is honestly the first Iron Man that I've gotten in the Marvel Legends line. Mostly because all of my Iron Man figures are represented by way of Hot Toys. But this one, I don't know, I saw and I just kind of liked. First of all, because this is the artificial intelligence version of Tony Stark. That to me is a really cool concept and is something that I kind of thought that they might use as a way to kind of bring Tony back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Toys have a way of kind of hinting towards things that might have happened in movies. Like, I believe in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 wave, they had a Iron Man figure that was him in his Star Boost suit. Which again, I had the Hot Toys version, so I never really bothered with that one, but there were rumors that Iron Man was going to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was the suit that he was going to use. So again, here we have this, in a way that really doesn't kind of match up with him, and it's the AI version. So, I don't know, I just thought it was cool, but mostly he is a repaint. The biggest thing, though, is that he does have a little bit more of that original comic look. Now, initially the artificial intelligence version of Tony was, I believe, in the Model 2, which is similar to this, but this looks more like the Mark IV that we got in the original comics. The biggest difference kind of being these round sections here. The Model 2 had a very similar look, but those were smaller. So I guess it makes sense that they would use this to kind of go along with that, because that's the suit, the Model 2 is the suit that the AI version was put into. So, you know, hey, reuse that Mark IV look, which is what I think that 80 years version was meant to kind of replicate. But the part that kind of always turned me off to that, despite the fact I like the gold look in Iron Man, the Mark IV in the comics book, it really didn't have gold. It was yellow like this, and I think that this is a wonderful representation of that comic look for him. Starting off first, though, with his accessories. Again, while the figure is pretty much a repaint and reuse of that previous body, a lot of this stuff is as well. You do have repulsor blasting hands. The thing that kind of stinks about this is that these pegs are permanently sculpted in that position. They don't have a hinge like the other wrists do. So these have to be like that, which is kind of unfortunate. And then you do get some repulsor blasts. Again, the 80-year version had this as well, but they were done in like a yellow plastic. This is more of a translucent blue. You can separate it, but you can't really do anything with it. Like if you wanted just that coming out of his hand, I mean, you could do that, I guess, and that's probably hard to see because I have a blue background. And then you have this, or maybe, I guess you could maybe do something like that if you wanted to have that kind of like blasting from the bottom of his foot, I suppose. So you can separate it, but it's kind of pointless really to do it. And then you just take this and plug this right in there, and you have him blasting out of his repulsor. So there you go. The other accessory he comes with, and I don't know if this is a new head sculpt. Unfortunately, as many of you know, I don't collect a lot of Marvel Legend figures other than X-Men, so this is kind of a surprise sort of review. But this definitely does not look like the Tony Stark head that we got with that 80 years version. The way that I'm kind of noticing it is down here actually has his little goatee sculpted in, which that 80 years version just had a mustache on him. It didn't have anything there, and you can actually feel that sculpted. So that's not just a paint application, but I like how you can, I don't know if you can see it, but you can kind of see it there. But I think that this looks great. I love the translucent nature. It is done much like this. And then for the actual head, all you do, you just pop this off. I do kind of wish that this peg here was done in maybe a clear plastic or something, because when you do put this on, gets on there, you can kind of see it there. It's not bad, really, but if it was clear, it would be a little bit better. And I kind of feel like it's a little bit big of a head. I mean, it's pretty big, right? I mean, obviously his hairline's going to like squish down. So like if I just put that where that, maybe it's not terrible. It's close. I don't know. Maybe it's just because the hair is kind of putting it off. But like if you line it up on the side, I guess that's not terribly bad. So I guess it works. It's mostly the hair. But like I said, I do wish that peg was done in a clear plastic. You don't even really notice it any other time. I guess maybe they wouldn't put it clear because the whole bottom section here would have to be clear as well. And, you know, they probably wouldn't want to paint it. But here is Tony as an artificial intelligence, which I think is great. The concept is amazing. He mapped his brain so it was basically an exact copy of him. And when he would be completely incapacitated, that you could activate the AI version and Iron Man would still be able to go around, which, like I said, I think that was a terrific concept, and I would have loved it if they did that for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I mean, they still could, I guess. So it is what it is, but I do really like that head. For the figure, though, absolutely love this mold. I mean, I liked it with the 80 years version. I just never really got it. This just has a very cool, classic comic book look to it. The helmet is fantastic. That 80-year version also came with another version of that. I don't remember who did the art for it. It's based on their art, but like had a nose or anything. This is obviously very flat and, again, like very classic looking. I love the clean slits for the eyes and the mouth. This is also one of my favorite looking Iron Man suits. It's probably why I love the Mark 80 from Hot Toys so much. It just has this kind of style. Granted, that has the gold. If they did yellow, I would probably buy that as well. But you can see you got the little arc reactor bits right here that are done in a light blue paint. That looks good as well. The red looks very nice, very crisp looking. His butt is nice and defined, and then you have the legs in it. So, I mean, just an overall really solid look for him. If you're a fan of the classic Iron Man, this is definitely one that I would go with. It just works perfectly. Articulation-wise, you can see the head was on a ball joint. You also do have that hinge that allows you to look up and down, so you could kind of get some flight poses with them, kind of, sort of, I guess. You got the swivel hinge for the shoulders that allow you to hinge it in and out, swivel all the way around. You have a swivel at the bicep. You have two bends here at the elbow, which gives you a good range of motion. But, I mean, for the most part, it does. I mean, it gives you basically a 90-degree bend, a little bit more than that. But, I mean, you need to have that double joint there. I mean, because otherwise it doesn't really do all that much. So I do like that, just to get that 90-degree range of motion. You do have wrist pegs. These ones, though, they can hinge forward and back. So unlike these ones, These are a little bit more versatile, so that's nice. Come around here to the body, you have the ab crunch, you have the waist swivel, you have the, are these ball joints? It kind of looks like ball joints going forward and back, in and out, all that fun stuff. Rotates at the upper part of the thigh. You do have 2 bends at the knee for a real strong range of motion. Boots have the cut, the ankles have a pivot forward and back, and then you have the hacky sack sort of joint right there. So all in all, I mean, like I said, I love the concept of and I've said it several times, so I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but the concept of the artificial intelligence version of Tony is super, super fun, combined with the fact that this is, for me, one of my favorite looks for the character of Iron Man. I mean, I love the movies, obviously, and those have a unique look and everything. It's just, this is the classic look for him, and you can't beat the classics, in my opinion. So I would absolutely recommend picking this guy up. Again, like I said, if you are an Iron Man fan, this is a cool appearance for him. It's really well done. It looks fantastic. Whether you like the suit or not, it is a very fun kind of appearance for Iron Man or Tony Stark, whatever you want to kind of refer to it as. And it seems like he is kind of warming shelves. I walk into my Targets and there are tons of these guys. So if you are looking for them, good luck and happy hunting. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate if you do one very simple thing for me, and that's just to hit that thumbs up button. I know it's not a Transformer review. Hopefully more of those are going to be coming in the future, but watching videos like this really do help to make all those other reviews possible. I also got to send a huge shout out to all of my Optibotimus Plus channel members who, through their direct support, help to make reviews like this and many others possible. And if you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a channel member, where you can get exclusive channel chat and comment emojis, loyalty badges, early access to video reviews, exclusive member unboxing videos, live streams, as well as access to the Optibotimus Plus only Discord, and please consider becoming a member of Optibotimus Plus. And for that, all you have to do is click on that little join button right down there. And as always, guys, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.